You've read the books, tried every app, list, and framework under the sun, heck, even maybe joined an accountability group. But still, you wake up, you sit down to work, and you can't seem to do the one thing that actually matters, which is executing on the hard things. I'm not saying just starting, I'm saying finishing it. Not just planning, but actually following through, not once, but consistently every single day. You're not lazy, you are not undisciplined, and you are not broken. You're just running the wrong mental operating system. Here's the truth that no guru will tell you. You don't rise to the level of your goals or your systems. You fall to the level of your mental defaults. And unless you rewire those mental defaults, no tool, tactic, or to-do list can save you. Because the problem is not your tools, it's your brain's survival wiring. It craves comfort, fears risk, and panics every second the pressure hits. And until you retrain that, you will forever be trapped. In fact, one study from Harvard found that people spend up to 47% of their day distracted, mentally off task when they're trying to focus. In this video, I'll show you why you can't execute, why nothing external will fix it until you train your mind to perform. See, in my work with elite founders, as an investor, advisor, or coach, I've seen it over and over again. The biggest leverage in business is never how smart you are or how much money you have or who you know. It's not even how hard you work. The biggest edge is how your mind works. It's really mental training. And this is not mindset or motivational fluff or journaling prompts that feel good but change nothing. I'm talking about mental training that helps you override resistance, shut down distractions, and follow through on high leverage work even when you don't feel like doing it. Because if your mind isn't capable of staying focused when it matters, you'll waste 10 hours a day working hard on things that don't matter at all, and you waste your life. You gotta understand that elite founders execute at their peak, and that is not because they are born that way. Execution is not a personality trait, it's a neural skill. Every founder you admire has mastered that. You were not born inconsistent, you were programmed to be inconsistent by a world built on infinite distractions and a prehistoric brain that did not evolve to handle it. So that's why your brain defaults to avoiding pain, seeking comfort, and protecting your ego, instead of actually doing the things that feel uncomfortable but actually will give you the results you want. That's why I say you don't default to your goals on your system. You default to how your mind is wired. And if your subconscious is wired the wrong way, and if you've never trained it, I guarantee it is, you will always abandon the task the minute it feels uncomfortable. No system can save a mind that sabotages itself when hard work is needed. And elite execution is not a function of motivation, it's alienation, it's rewiring your brain at the neural level. The more you do hard things under friction, the more your brain learns how to do it, and the easier it eventually becomes. The problem is that nobody told you this before. That's why you have been trying to do what everybody else is trying to do, which is, outsourcing discipline, having the latest Pomodoro setup or Notion or time blocking or accountability group or whatever bullshit they're selling you these days. But those tools collapse the moment mental friction appears. But what is mental friction, you might be asking? Well, mental friction is when your brain mislabels the task as threats. You have a sales call and you have a threat of rejection, for instance. That creates mental friction. Or you want to delegate, but you're afraid of losing control. Or you want to ship something, but you risk failing or being ridiculed. So instead of doing those hard things that you know matter for your business, you overplan, you open Slack, you serve YouTube, you twig your Notion for the 14th time this week. The neurological reason is that your amygdala, the fear center of the brain, does not know the difference between a tiger and a tough conversation. It just detects threat and floods you with resistance. That's why I say avoidance is not laziness, it's just your natural untrained default. The good news is that this is trainable. In fact, anyone who's ever succeeded has trained it consciously or subconsciously. And if you don't do it and you consistently avoid the hard things, your brain strengthens the neural pathway of avoidance. So you get very good at avoiding the hard thing until that becomes your identity. If you never train the identity of a elite performer, it becomes consistently harder. Sure, systems may help you in the short term. It can nudge you towards peak performance, but in the long term, they don't matter because you don't fall to the level of your goals or your system, you fall to your mental defaults. Goals are like a race, systems are like a race car, and mental training is the driver. You can have a Ferrari on an empty track, but if the driver is blindfolded, you will crash. And here you are, trying to white knuckle the wheel with your ability to consistently show up shut down, wondering why you're stuck in the same loop. Without a protocol, you're just managing chaos. See, gurus will sell you these productivity systems that are graveyard of apps layered on top of unresolved anxiety. You can build a dashboard, but if your inner voice says you're not worth it, you will not actually do do it. This is why you end up always plateauing, burning out, and feeling like your business is a job you can't quit. The solution is not to try another tool. The solution is to rewire your mind at the root, is to go deep into the subconscious reasons why you are not able to consistently deliver and actually master the constraints of performance, which is your cognitive load, which is emotional regulation, which is subconscious belief loop, the kind of thing that actually limit your brain's capacity to actually execute. Those things, when resolved, unlock a whole new level of productivity and performance. But the average guru will never tell you this. They will tell you you only need the perfect Notion setup. But if you're trying to operate on fear, juggling for team priorities with a brain that is unable to deal with that, you will crash. In other words, you don't have a strategy problem. You don't have an information problem. You don't even have a productivity problem. You don't need a new app. You don't need a bigger team. And you don't need to hustle as hard as you're hustling. You need to stop wasting time in distraction, doubt, and dips that actually hurt you in business and rewire your ability to consistently deliver. Because when you can execute on demand without really ever getting your own way, everything changes. Momentum compounds, confidence spikes, revenue scales, chaos fades, and guess what? You start having the time of your life, making more money than you ever made because you solved the problem at the root. And this is the most critical investment you'll ever make because it upgrades the one asset that you can never outsource, your mind. If you need our help to actually solve this forever, book a decoding session with us. In 45 minutes, we'll surface exactly why your mind is sabotaging execution and, more importantly, how to solve it. Without doing this kind of work, your success will always be capped by your ability to handle it. Problem is never your tools, it's your mind. It's how you think and execute under pressure and how consistently you can deploy your best behavior every single day in business. That is the real limit to your growth. Solve that and you will have no limit whatsoever.